What we are talking about here is new ideas, new stories in terms of characters, different characters, innovative characters, Drama. Now, drama is very vast. We talk about drama a lot. And this story can contribute to drama, this story can contribute to drama. Many scenes in one story, and you are experiencing drama in different ways. And the overall experience of the entire story, that is something else. So, stories, ideas, characters, plot, in terms of all these things, we are expecting new stories, different stories, not few tropes, not few stereotypes. That this is the thing, whatever story we talk about, that is centering around only these tropes, and we are not talking about that. Here in Artist 7, what we are talking about is a situation that is evoking a lot of imagination, that is evoking a lot of, you know, things you can think about, you can talk about situations, plots, characters, moments, and new ideas. And people who are working on those movies, they are also bringing their perspectives, their way of making the movies. That is also something we expect to have, in the young talents or aspiring filmmakers. But the thing is, when you are young, it is not because of age, but sometimes it is because of age. But when you are young, you think that you are coming up with new ideas. You are coming up with, your own way of telling stories. You are finding your style. You are discovering your style. You are finding your inspiration, and then you are figuring out your own voice, how you can tell the story, and how you can tell this particular story. You are living life, you are experiencing life, and you think that this is the story you can tell. So there are moments like that, but gradually, when you age, many people keep it, but many people think that we should conform to this and that, and we should make these movies and in these ways. There are things like that. But what we are talking about is, in Artist 7, new ideas, as I mentioned, and innovative ways of telling those stories. Now, people will criticize you. There are people who will criticize you. But the question is, you have to test them whether they can actually get it or not. If they don't get it, then their criticism doesn't matter. Because they will criticize anything, whatever you do, they will criticize. So their criticism won't matter. But the story you want to tell, that can be something people will look up to. So when you think that you can deal with the story, you can tell the story, you can, create innovative characters or stories or plot points, what you can do is, maybe you should take some time out, maybe you should go to some place, maybe you should, find your own space, and then you should write those characters, those stories, those scripts. And then you make in your own way those scripts and movies, and different stories, not few tropes and archetypes, and not especially not those boring stories and archetypes, something much more than that, because when you don't bring things down to specific few things, one or two things if I mention, then you can discover life in different ways. You can experience life in different ways. And you will find people, especially in countries like India or places like this, people don't even understand what art means, because the association that has been done with the word art, that can be very negative connotations, and a lot of bad meaning attached to art. So don't listen to those people. And especially when you want to tell a story in a different way, their criticism doesn't matter. You should tell your story. You should tell it in your way. You should make the movie in your way. And sometimes talking about the movie and making the movie, rather, you should not talk about the movie. You should make the movie, because that is a statement you are making, or that is something you are saying, that is something you are expressing. Sometimes you will experience yourself that you don't feel like talking about the movie, rather you should make the movie. Now the thing is, why should we make a good movie? Why should we make a good movie? Why should we continue to make good movies? And when we tell these stories, we want to tell these stories. So we are finding different stories, and we are finding, how we can provide drama, how we can provide an experience to the audience. We're always looking forward to that. Sometimes we explicitly go for it, sometimes it feels very naturally because we are going to a place, we are experiencing something. We feel like sharing it through a script, through a movie, and we just do it. And it's a beautiful movie. Sometimes people experience that in a different way. And we go for those ideas, and we go for those movies, we go for those scripts. So this is what we talk about in Artist 7. And if anyone is willing to go for that, then we can provide mentorship, or we can provide some advice or guidelines. But your perspective is important, because you should respect your perspective, and your perspective is important, and the way you are telling stories. Experimentation, filmmaking, innovative ways, techniques, aesthetics, and visual language and cinematic language, drama, and acting, writing, and how you can convey something the way you want to convey.